Santos Saúl. Canelo Álvarez Barragán is a Mexican professional boxer. He has won multiple world championships in 4 weight classes from light middleweight to light heavyweight, including unified titles in 3 of those weight classes and lineal titles in 2. Álvarez is the first and only boxer in history to become undisputed champion at super middleweight, having held the WBA, WBC, and Ring Magazine titles since 2020, and the IBF and WBO titles since 2021. Álvarez is known as an excellent counterpuncher, being able to exploit openings in his opponent's guards while avoiding punches with head and body movement. He is also known as a formidable body puncher. As of May 2022, Álvarez is ranked as the world's best active boxer, pound for pound, by BoxRec and the Boxing Writers Association of America, 4th by ESPN, 5th by the TBRB, and 6th by The Ring. He is also ranked as the world's best active super middleweight by BoxRec, The Ring, TBRB, and ESPN. Early life. In an interview, Álvarez explained that he was born on the outskirts of Guadalajara, Jalisco, but his family is originally from Los Reyes, Michoacán. At the age of 5, his family moved to their current home of Juanacatlán, Jalisco. Growing up on his family's farm, he learned horseback riding, which he continues today. Álvarez is the youngest of 8 children, 7 of them boys. All of his brothers also became professional boxers. Among his brothers are welterweight boxers Ramon Álvarez, Ricardo Álvarez, and former WBA interim world champion, Rigoberto Álvarez. Canelo in Spanish is the masculine word for cinnamon, which is a common nickname for people with red hair. His mother, Ana Maria, also has red hair. In Mexico, it is common for people to associate red hair with the Irish soldiers who fought for Mexico in the St. Patrick's Battalion during the Mexican-American War. Speaking about his ancestry, Álvarez once said, "There might have been an Irish grandfather somewhere back in my past." He was bullied at an early age when he would be called jicama con chili, which translates as jicama with chili flakes, a popular snack in Mexico. Amateur career. Álvarez started boxing when he was around 13 years old, after watching his older brother Rigoberto debut as a professional boxer. In 2004, he won the silver medal at the Junior Mexican National Championships, held in Sinaloa. He became the 2005 Junior Mexican National Boxing Champion in Tuxtla Gutiérrez, Chiapas, at the age of 15. His amateur record was 44-2 with 12 knockouts. Professional career. Early years. Álvarez turned professional at 15, shortly after his championship at the Junior Nationals, because his trainers at the time, father and son team Chepo and Eddie Reynoso, were unable to find suitable junior opponents for him. In his first 19 months as a professional, he knocked out 11 of his 13 documented opponents, all of whom were significantly older. However, the elder Reynoso stated in 2013 that Álvarez had fought 10 more times in that span, winning all 10 by knockout, but that these fights were so poorly documented that it was not worth the trouble to seek to have the record corrected. This means that his actual record is 67-2 with 49 knockouts. His weight fluctuated in his 3 years as a professional, including 2 documented fights within the light welterweight limit of 140 pounds before he settled in the welterweight division at 147 pounds. Álvarez's third official bout of his career was a win over future IBF lightweight champion Miguel Vázquez on January 20, 2006, in his hometown of Guadalajara, Jalisco. On June 28, 2008, Álvarez defeated Vázquez again in a rematch. He also made world history on that fight card when he and all 6 of his brothers fought on the same night, with Canelo being the youngest. The only downside was that 3 of them failed to win their pro debuts. The other 4 more experienced brothers won. On March 6, 2010, he got a crushing third-round KO over Brian Camekais in Tuxtla Gutierrez, Chiapas. Álvarez then defeated Jose Cotto on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather Jr. vs. Shane Mosley to retain his WBC NABF welterweight title. Light middleweight. His sixth-round technical knockout win over Luciano Leonel Coelho for the WBC silver light middleweight title was held at the Vicente Fernandez Arena. During the post-fight interview, Mexican singer Vicente Fernandez gave Álvarez a horse. He was also given a horse by the mayor of Tepic, where Álvarez sometimes trains. He next faced the former WBC welterweight champion Carlos Baldomir at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, on the Shane Mosley vs. Sergio Mora undercard. Baldomir stated in a pre-fight interview that he wanted the winner of Mora vs. Mosley, as he said, "After I knock out El Canelo." Baldomir weighed in at 153.4 pounds for the bout, that was contracted for 151 pounds. In California, if a fighter is overweight, he is penalized 20% of his purse, and that percent is given to the other fighter. However, Álvarez declined to take the extra $12,000 from Baldomir. In the sixth round, Álvarez landed a crushing blow that knocked Baldomir out cold. With the victory, Álvarez became just the second boxer ever to stop Carlos Baldomir and the first boxer ever to knock him out. Álvarez then successfully defended his light middleweight title by unanimous decision against former world champion Lovemore Endo in Veracruz. It was a competitive fight despite the wide margins on the official scorecards of 119-109, 120-108, and 120-108. Álvarez was in line as mandatory challenger for the winner of the vacant WBC light middleweight title bout between Manny Pacquiao and Antonio Margarito. However, Pacquiao, who was the victor, wrote to the WBC stating he had no intention of defending the title and it was declared vacant. On March 5, 2011, Álvarez defeated European welterweight champion Matthew Hatton via unanimous decision, for the vacant WBC light middleweight belt. The bout was televised on HBO and took place at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Álvarez was docked a point in the seventh round, which was uniformly scored 9-9, for hitting after the break. All three ringside judges scored the bout 119-108 in favor of Álvarez, who landed 47% of his 626 punches, including 53% of his power shots. Hatton connected with just 25% of his 546 total blows in a fight that averaged 1.4 million viewers on HBO. Álvarez successfully defended his newly awarded WBC title against number 4 ranked ring light middleweight and current European light middleweight champion Ryan Rhodes. Álvarez defeated Rhodes via TKO in the 12th round on June 18, 2011, in Guadalajara, Jalisco. The fight averaged 1.6 million viewers on HBO. On September 17, 2011, Álvarez successfully defended that same WBC title against the contender competitor Alfonso Gomez at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, winning via TKO in the sixth round. Gomez won a majority of the first 5 rounds after Álvarez knocked him down in the first round. Álvarez was looking for one shot and got it in the sixth round when he backed Gomez up with a right hand. He then followed up with a flurry to get the referee to jump in and stop the fight. Álvarez vs. Cintron. Álvarez vs. Mosley. Álvarez vs. Lopez. Álvarez vs. Trout. Álvarez vs. Mayweather. Catch weight. Álvarez vs. Angulo. Álvarez vs. Lara. Álvarez vs. Kirkland. Álvarez vs. Cotto. Álvarez vs. Khan. Return to light middleweight. Álvarez vs. Liam Smith. Return to catch weight. Álvarez vs. Chavez Jr. Middleweight. Álvarez vs. Golovkin. Álvarez vs. Golovkin 2. Super middleweight. Álvarez vs. Fielding. Return to middleweight. Álvarez vs Jacobs. Light heavyweight. Álvarez vs Kovalev. Return to super middleweight. On November 6, 2020, Álvarez was released from his contract with Golden Boy Promotions after a lawsuit was settled for breach of contract. Álvarez vs Callum Smith. Álvarez vs Yldrm. Álvarez vs Saunders. Álvarez vs Plant. Return to light heavyweight. Álvarez vs Bivol. Return to super middleweight. On November 6, 2020, Álvarez was released from his contract with Golden Boy Promotions after a lawsuit was settled for breach of contract. Álvarez vs Golovkin 3. Personal life. Álvarez was engaged to Marisol Gonzalez, who is Miss Mexico Universe 2003 and a sports reporter for Televisa Deportes. In May 2021, Álvarez married his longtime partner Fernanda Gomez in a ceremony at the Guadalajara Cathedral in Guadalajara, Mexico. He has 3 daughters and 1 son, all with different women. Álvarez enjoys playing golf. In 2020 he stated his intentions to retire from boxing by age 37 and dedicate himself to his business and playing golf every day in retirement. He is also a boxing promoter in Mexico. His company, Canelo Promotions, was established in 2010 and his business partners are his trainers, father and son team Chepo and Eddie Reynoso. As of 2013, Canelo Promotions represented 40 boxers throughout Mexico. Film career. Canelo was cast to star in Creed 3. Professional boxing record. Viewership. Pay-per-view bouts. Subscription sports streaming service bouts.